Listen, I need to show you something that's going to change how you think about money. Picture this. You've got $1 million saved up. Now, you want $1 million house, but here's the thing. You're smarter than most people. You don't want to just hand over your million and be broke again. That's not how we play the game. So here's what you're going to do instead. You're going to invest that full million, wait for it to double to 2 million, and then use that new million for the house while keeping your original investment working for you forever. The only question is, how fast can we get there? I'm Richard, and today I'm going to walk you through the 5 Fidelity index funds that can make this happen, counting down from slowest to fastest. And at the end, I'll show you the fund that could get you there in just 4 years. Now, before you think all index funds are the same, let me stop you right there. They run at completely different speeds. Some are built like tortoises, steady, safe, perfect for retirement. Others, they're pure growth machines that swing harder and move faster. Here's what you need to understand. Picking the right index fund isn't about chasing the biggest names or the flashiest returns. There's actual strategy behind this. The 5 funds I'm showing you today are selected based on 4 key things: growth potential, dividend yield, sector performance, long-term stability. All right, so let me lay out the ground rules for you, because this is important. First, every dividend you earn, we're reinvesting it. That's how you compound wealth, not by spending it. Second, no extra contributions. We're testing these funds pure and simple. 1 million in, let it ride. Third, we're keeping taxes out of this conversation because I'm assuming you're smart enough to do this in a Roth IRA. If you're not using a Roth IRA yet, that's a whole other conversation we need to have. The goal is simple. Turn 1 million into 2 million. Use the profit for the house, keep the principal invested, and do it as fast as possible without taking stupid risks. For each fund, I'll break down what it actually invests in, how it grows, what kind of dividends you're looking at, and, most importantly, how many years it's going to take you to hit that 2 million mark. Ready? Let's start with the slowest option and work our way up to the speed demon. Number 5 on our list, the Fidelity Freedom Index 2060, ticker symbol FDKLX. Think of this fund as cruise control for your investments. It's built for someone planning to retire around 2060, starting aggressive with stocks and gradually shifting to bonds as the years roll by. It rebalances automatically. Set it and forget it. Here's the catch. Because it mixes in bonds, it's not a big dividend payer. We're talking about a 0.09% yield, almost nothing. But the real muscle is the stock portion, averaging about 8.3% growth per year. Not mind-blowing, but steady. And steady, given enough time, can absolutely buy you a house. So, how long are we talking? If you invest your million today, year 1, $1,083,878. Year 5, $1,490,000. Year 9, $2,066,494. Goal reached. 9 years. That's when you hit the 2 million mark. At that point, you're earning about $2,163 a year in dividends. The house is paid for with the growth, and you still have your original million invested and compounding. This fund asks you for patience, not heroics. But here's the thing. 9 years is a long time to stare at real estate listings and wait. So the question becomes, is there a faster way? That brings us to number 4. The Fidelity Zero Large Cap Index Fund, ticker symbol FNILX. This tracks big American companies: Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, banks, healthcare giants, all of it. Here's what makes this special. The expense ratio is literally 0. Every bit of growth stays in your account. Over time, that adds up more than you think. Now, let's talk numbers. Dividend yield, 0.95%. Dividend growth, 11.72%. Average share price appreciation, 11.17% per year. So, how fast does this get you to your goal? If you invest your million today, year 1, $1,111,200. Year 5, $1,696,000. Year 7, $2,097,940. Goal reached. 7 years. 2 years faster than fund number 5. At that point, you're producing about $19,653 in annual income. Over $1,600 a month. You're not chasing wild risks. You're simply letting America's biggest companies carry you forward. But even 7 years can feel like a long wait when you've already imagined yourself in that dream house. So let's keep moving.
Remember, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you the fund that can potentially turn 1 million into 2 million in just 4 years. But first, let's look at number 3. Number 3, the Fidelity 500 Index Fund, ticker symbol FXAIX. This is the classic S&P 500 tracker. If you want the heartbeat of American business wrapped into a single investment, this is it. The fund owns the 500 largest U.S. companies in their market weights, a constantly refreshed lineup that always features the nation's biggest winners near the top. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, healthcare giants, industrial leaders, consumer brands, it's all in there. And here's the beauty of how this index works. Companies that perform well naturally grow into bigger portions of the portfolio, while those that lag shrink. Success earns more space, so the fund automatically tilts toward the strongest players. Costs are razor thin, trading is automatic, and there's no manager trying to guess which stock comes next. This is pure market performance. The numbers. Current dividend yield, 1.13%. Dividend growth, 2.87%. Modest, but that's typical for large established companies focused more on growth than dividends. Share price growth, 12.65% per year on average. That compounding turns patience into serious purchasing power. So how long to reach your house goal? If you invest your million today, year 1, $1,137,800. Year 4, $1,666,830. Year 5, $1,890,163. Year 6, $2,142,360. Goal reached! 6 years. Your original million is still invested, untouched, and compounding, while the extra million is sitting right there, ready to cover your dream home. At that milestone, your yield is about 1.28%, which comes out to roughly $12,767 in annual income, just over $1,060 a month. Cumulative dividends by then total around $72,230, all reinvested to keep your balance climbing. And yet, in just 6 years, you're standing in the doorway of your new home. Because this index spans tech, healthcare, finance, consumer brands, energy, and more, no single stock decides its future. But now, here's the question. If 6 years is possible with the S&P 500, could we reach the house even faster? Say, in 5 years? That's where number 2 comes in. The Fidelity U.S. Sustainability Index Fund, ticker symbol FITLX. Now, before you roll your eyes at the word sustainability, hear me out. This fund screens the U.S. market for companies that meet defined sustainability standards and then tracks them like any broad index. Rules first, emotions second. But what does that mean? It means a portfolio heavy in modern growth leaders whose products shape daily life. Software, chips, clean mobility, cloud infrastructure. You're not trying to judge ethics yourself. You're using the index's published criteria to own a consistent universe of forward-looking companies. And the numbers here stand out. Dividend yield, 1.14%. Dividend growth, 13.74% over the last decade. That's fast, much quicker than average. Share price appreciation, 13.91% per year. Combine those, and you've got a recipe for real acceleration. So how fast can we get you to your goal? If you invest your million today, year 1, $1,150,500. Year 3, $1,522,783. Year 4, $1,751,873. Year 5, $2,015,395. Goal reached! 5 years! That's when the dream stops being a concept and becomes a closing date on your house. At that milestone, your yield is about 1.98%, paying around $19,836 a year in dividends, roughly $1,653 every month. 5 years to financial freedom. That's starting to feel real, right? But listen, we're not done yet. There's still one more fund on this list, the fastest growing of them all in today's market. And if the numbers hold, it could get you into that house in record time. At the number 1 spot, the Fidelity NASDAQ Composite Index Fund, ticker symbol FNCMX. This fund takes your investment to an entirely different dimension. This isn't built for slow and steady. This is built for speed. It tracks the NASDAQ Composite, an index dominated by technology, communication services, and growth-oriented consumer companies. In plain language, it owns a massive slice of the innovation economy. Platform businesses, chip makers, cloud providers, artificial intelligence leaders, they're all here. Apple and Microsoft sit near the top, with NVIDIA, Amazon, and Meta right behind them, plus hundreds of smaller companies fighting to become tomorrow's giants. This is a momentum engine, made up of real businesses that people rely on every single day. The numbers make it crystal clear why FNCMX earns the top spot. Dividend yield, 0.59%. Low, and we don't care. Dividend growth, 6.87%. Modest, and we still don't care. Price appreciation, 18.67% per year on average. That pace is unmatched in the investing world. So how quickly does this get you into your house? If you invest your million today, year 1, $1,192,600. Year 2, $1,421,464. Year 3, $1,693,376. Year 4, $2,016,384. Goal reached. 4 years. 4 years. The screen flashes the number you've been waiting for. $2,016,384. That's the breakthrough moment. In just 4 years, you've doubled your money, more than twice as fast as fund number 5. That's the door opening. You can call the agent, lock in your dream house, and keep every dollar of your original million invested exactly where it is. At that milestone, the fund's yield on your balance sits around 0.69%, which comes out to about $6,855 in annual income, or $571 per month. Now, I need to be straight with you. This path comes with more ups and downs. The fund leans heavily into sectors that can surge one month and stumble the next, sometimes in the same quarter. But your eyes aren't on the daily scoreboard. They're on a 4-year finish line. And here's the truth. The fastest route is rarely the smoothest one. If you can handle a bumpier ride, this fund transforms your luxury home from a distant dream into a short-term plan. 4 years of patience, and you're walking through the front door without touching your original million. Look, I know these numbers are incredible, but I also know not everyone has $1 million to start with right now. The good news? The strategy is the same at any level. Whether you're starting with $1,000, $10,000, or $100,000, compound growth works the same way.
The timeline adjusts, but the principle doesn't change. Your money can work faster than you think. It just needs the right vehicle and enough time to do its thing. If you found this helpful, subscribe to the Money Introduction channel and comment below. And click the video on the screen to find out how to make $2,800 per month with only $10 a day. Same principles, different scale. I'll see you there.